The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 7 is finally here. And here is what occurs at the end of the new episode as we near the climax of the series. The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 6 ended with a heartbreaking surprise with June realizing that Nick had betrayed her by alerting Commander Wharton about Mayday's Jezebel's plan. Episode 7 follows up in the immediate aftermath of this revelation, with June and Mayday trying to find out a new means to injure Gilead and its commanders before the Handmaid's Tale comes to a close. Episode 7 opens with June and Nick remaining in Serena Joy's closet, with June grieving from the consequences of Nick's treachery. Meanwhile, Commander Wharton has dispatched some Gileadian shooters inside Jezebel's, with them closing the brothel down and killing all of the ladies, save for Janine. Wharton and Serena Joy are continuing to prepare their wedding, which opens up a new option for June. June suggests to Mayday the notion of following out their Jezebel's plan at Commander Wharton's wedding, allowing them the opportunity to hit Gilead with one more blow. Is Aunt Lydia going to find June and Moira? In The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 7, Aunt Lydia has a range of emotions after discovering the murdered ladies at Jezebel's and learning that Janine is still alive. Aunt Lydia is definitely still on Gilead's side, even though she is still undergoing her redemption arc. She therefore opposes Mayday, Moira, and June. At the end of the episode, Aunt Phoebe comes out of a secret conversation with June and Moira and enters a hallway. She is caught by Aunt Lydia, who questions Phoebe suspiciously. Lydia still seems to have a hunch that something is amiss, but Phoebe perseveres. Aunt Lydia shows that she doesn't completely trust Phoebe by peering through the window of the door that Phoebe came out of before the scenario concludes. But Lydia has little chance of locating June and Moira. Phoebe is left in charge of the handmaid's preparations before the wedding when Lydia informs her that she must travel to Washington, D.C. Lydia will therefore be mostly excluded from Mayday's scheme. The handmaid's part of the attack will be considerably simpler now that Lydia isn't around to snoop around. And Lydia won't know it. What June's Bible quote at the end of The Handmaid's Tale, Season 6, Episode 7 means. At the end of the episode, June and Moira sit together after speaking with Aunt Phoebe. They are coming to defend Janine and the other ladies, June informs Moira. When Moira asks June to say something motivational, June responds by quoting multiple passages from the Bible. Psalm 23 verse 1 is recited first, followed by verse 4, the end of verse 5, and the entirety of verse 6. Throughout The Handmaid's Tale, June's connection with Christianity has been intriguing. She has utilized religion to motivate herself and others, despite her resentment of the fact that it serves as Gilead's fundamental tenet. These Bible passages appear to be June's request for God's support during their assault on Serena Joy's wedding. According to the Bible, June is aware that they are fighting an uphill battle even though they are the righteous ones. Who is Darcy Carden's Aunt Phoebe? Aunt Phoebe, portrayed by Darcy Carden, is a new character in The Handmaid's Tale, Season 6, Episode 7. Despite being a late addition to The Handmaid's Tale, Aunt Phoebe is a significant character who appears out of nowhere. Throughout the episode, she is seen collaborating with June and Moira to help them organize their attack on Serena Joy's wedding. Phoebe is also being used as a diversion to prevent Aunt Lydia from looking into the matter and interfering with the handmaid's plans. Aunt Phoebe is obviously a Mayday plant, but there are still many unanswered questions about her. It's unclear whether Mayday became an aunt, or whether they were able to promote one of their own to that position. In any case, Aunt Phoebe is a crucial instrument for spies in Gilead, as she plays a major role in planning and executing the subsequent assault on Serena Joy's wedding. June's plan for Serena Joy's wedding explained. Although it may not be at Jezebel's, June has figured out a new way to kill some of Gilead's most powerful commanders. In a conversation with Commander Lawrence, Lawrence encourages June to keep fighting, telling her about Janine's survival and Serena Joy's wedding. This drives June to a realization. They can target Serena Joy's wedding. June then thinks that since the handmaids would be at Serena Joy's wedding, they may use the handmaids to carry out an attack on the commanders. Lawrence argues that since Gilead just destroyed Mayday's Jezebel's scheme, their confidence will be up and their defenses will be down. June also states that the veiled, unnoticed handmaids are the perfect weapon against Gilead. She planned on bringing weapons in for the handmaids with June and Moira wrapping knives in bits of cloth. Since the explosives are still in place from the previous attack, they can still be used, allowing the American forces to invade Gilead. Most of the guards will have been pulled from the border to the wedding, leaving Boston unguarded. Can Janine be saved in The Handmaid's Tale? One of June's side goals in The Handmaid's Tale's final few episodes is to save Janine. Janine survived the killing of the women at Jezebel's due to her being a favorite of regular patron Commander Bell. Janine is now Commander Bell's handmaid. Unfortunately, when Aunt Lydia decides to check in on her, she finds that Janine has been terribly battered. Commander Bell is treating her cruelly owing to Janine's rebellious personality, with him not even letting Janine leave the house for Serena Joy's wedding. Since Janine won't be at the wedding, it will be exceedingly tough to save her. As soon as the attack happens, Gilead will surely be locked down. Mayday proper won't see Janine as valuable enough to risk rescuing, and it will be hard for June to make her way to Janine after the attack. If nothing changes, Janine's salvation at the conclusion of Season 6 of The Handmaid's Tale will require a miracle.